Okay, so I'm gonna do this without any music, so there's no mistake with sound interfering. Just this is just gonna be a real quick video, hopefully quick, on one, our strategy in this kingdom, and two, what to do when maybe leadership gives a bit more broad orders instead of very specific orders. All right, so logging in. This is more of a message to leadership, especially with broad orders. It would be really nice to post in the royal commands. It's a lot easier to look here than flipping back and forth um, on Discord. At least in my opinion, when I'm on my phone only, it would be helpful. But anyway, oh gosh, I have to find a way to put Discord on here. I can't, I don't know how to do that. So I'm just going to go to the orders and read them. So the orders say if above 500 acres, do one mass on 1, 5, or 14, then max gain with the rest of your offense. If below 500 acres, max gain, all targets open except 14. Use smite if you have it, right? So what do we do as a kingdom? If you're not super familiar with the strategy, you can look at the news. This is a good place to go all the time. Always look at the news and see what's going on. Um, who are we attacking? Why are we attacking them? So as you can see, we're massing specific targets, right? When we mass these targets, we bring them down. Oh gosh, let me get the intel site. Let me see. Is this showing on? Yes, it's showing. Okay. So here's the intel site. You can go to the enemy and you see the overview. Um, we masked specific targets to bring down their thieves per acre, right? We did it with 6 Hexy, right? We brought them down to 0.5 TPA. We're currently doing it with Ragnarok. We've done it with 9 and 11 as well. So we mask them to get them to a low TPA so that our guys um, can do night strikes on them, right? So when you know that a province is being massacred in general, you don't want to traditional march them. If you traditional march them, you take acres from that province. What that does is increase that TPA. So all of the work we've been doing to massacre them and bring down their TPA, you're reversing it. So that hit, any traditional march hits on a massacre target is reversing the work. So it's worse than not even hitting at all. You're actually making it like you're backtracking it. Unfortunately, mistakes happen, and look, I've made a huge blunder, and it wasn't even on my province. So I'm not here to try to call out people making mistakes or anything because we all make mistakes, right? And I'm the king of making mistakes. But as far as the strategy is concerned and what you want to look out for, this is what you should know. So, um, all right. So right now, the typical thing to aim for is approximately zero point 0.5 raw TPA because it allows us with the two running 2 raw TPA to be able to night strike them without as many fails and losses of thieves, right? Um, so we do that, and then we unload a bunch of stealth and night strike those provinces. You end up night striking, like depending on how much stealth is being used, you destroy, like demolish a province. So right now, our kingdom has a lot of stealth. Some of it was used recently, but like there's a lot of stealth available, and most of that stealth is on paladins who are not affected by the sapphire dragon that we currently have on us, which means that your TPA is not bothered by this. Your TPA is good and high, and you could be doing some crazy damage with Night Strike on the Night Strike target. But a lot of people are waiting because the TPA wasn't dropped low enough. So, keeping that in mind, excuse me, keeping that in mind, when you are given orders like the ones we currently have, like, hey, if you're above this amount of acres, hit this guy, or that guy. You know, try not to just see the list of targets and be like, okay, number one is the first one on the list. I'm going to hit that one. Try to think about what our strategy is and what would be the best hit for you to do. So in this case, since 14 is not low enough on the TPA, and we have so many people with stealth waiting to use their stealth on this guy, we should massacre him first, right? Get him down to what he needs to get to. That way we can move forward with the night strikes and then move on to, and you can't see it right here on Discord because I don't know how to put Discord on here, but the very first line says, if above 500 acres, do one mass on 1, 5, or 14, right? 3 targets for you to massacre. So you're not doing anything wrong by massacring 1 or 5, but you could, you know, like critically think about it and say, hey, 14 isn't ready yet, and one more hit might be enough to do it, or maybe 2, I don't know. But you can look at it, look at the intel site, see what he's at. You know, you could do a spot infiltrate, especially if you have a lot of stealth. Do an infiltrate on your own and see what his raw TPA is. If it's low enough, then hey, now we can do night strikes. And you can even tell the whole kingdom, hey, this last massacre I just did an infiltrate, he's down to 0.5 TPA or whatever. He's open for massacre. And the reason I'm saying all of this is because leadership is difficult, right? Like putting all these orders, thinking about them all, and especially when you get into assigning hits, like you attack this person, you attack this person, with your first general do this, with your second general do this, with your third general, how much offense do you have left? It's really involved. It takes a lot of time. Like first you have to think about, what am I going to do overall, right? Then you got to think about, okay, what's their net worth, what's their offense, how much of this offense can I use, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot for leadership to do. And I think the direction that this kingdom is trying to go is to take a little bit of weight off of leadership. We all have real lives and we all have, you know, things to do, and we can't be here all the time to guide every single province. And especially this age with a kingdom full of gnomes and people with quick feet and attack speed boosts, that's a lot. So I never, when I run my own kingdoms, I never like recommend tacticians or avians or anybody with attack speed boosts. I hate running haste because as a leader for that kingdom, that means I have to be on there way too much and I can't do it. So so when you get generic orders like this, try to, like, you know, learn and like critically think about it and learn, hey, you know, and this is when you should be encouraged to ask questions like, hey, you know, don't just go in there and be like, hey, who should I hit? Think about it. Okay, the orders say to do a massacre on one of these provinces and then max gain after that, right? Okay, first think about it. If I were to choose this myself, I would hit, say which one, and then this. This is the offense I have. I'm thinking of hitting this province and this province. Is that correct? That will give you a better learning experience in the long run about the game as a whole than just hopping on and asking, who should I hit? Of course, all of us have lives, and sometimes that's the best thing you can do because you're in a hurry and you're in a meeting or you're whatever. So, you know, just say, hey, I need help. Can somebody just tell me who to hit? Sometimes that's what you got to do. But if you got a little bit of extra time, you know, sit down, think about it, and come up with a plan of what you're going to do yourself, and then say, is that right? Or what should I change about this? Or is this okay? That will give you much more experience, much more growth, to be able to follow orders that are a little more generic like this, which alleviates the pressure on leadership. I hope this video was helpful, and I hope nobody felt offended or attacked by this video. Like I said, I made probably the biggest blunder. Fortunately, the opponent did not take advantage of that blunder, but I made a really big blunder. If you weren't there when it happened, I was absolutely very upset about it. You know, and I didn't even do it with my own province. I did it with the province I was sitting for, and I felt horrible. Fortunately, nothing really happened from it, so it ended up being okay, but it could have gone really bad. That could have basically cost us a whole province. So again, I'm not trying to attack people on mistakes. All right, like we all do that. We all make mistakes. But yeah, all right. Hopefully this has been a helpful video.